What's up, everyone? This is Messiah, the founder of AceFlex 7, letting you know that I am here with, again, an amazing creator. His name is Dion, and he is the creator, writer of Children of Azar.
Hey, what's going on, people? What's going on, man? I'm glad to be here. Age Flex Seven. I'm honored for your first episode on your new platform, and man, I'm just humbled, man. You're even interested in interviewing me and everything like that,
Of
man. It's really cool.
anytime, man,
I
anytime.
appreciate it.
And again, letting you know the main purpose of AFlex 7 is to build a platform for creators. So again, like mentioned before, super excited to have you on here, and definitely just want you to go a bit more in depth with the story. I have read it. Honestly, the characters, the images, the colors, are very vibrant. It's amazing. So just want to get into it. What gave you the inspiration to create a story like this?
The inspiration, honestly, is kind of weird. It was back in 2019. I was in the Air Force, and we worked some really long shifts. And it was a little gag me and my coworker had of essentially, what if they made The Walking Dead, but with mummies
Mm.
instead of zombies? And it was something really childish, something really, really silly, zany stuff. And it kind of grew from there into what it is now on Webtoons, where it got more serious over the years. It was just like, well, actually, not over the years, just over a few weeks after that. I was just thinking of some concepts of like a soldier and like Egypt kind of taking over like the world and like the plagues running around the world. You know, it was a very basic concept back then and just grew into what we see now in the year 2022. So from a joke to an actual action adventure serious story. You never know where you get your inspirations from for real. So that's where it
That's
came
dope.
from.
That's really true as well. So again, when your inspiration is like you mentioned before, it can pretty much come from anything. It's actually dope that something that you just had an idea that you actually just following through with and manifested. And so, going more in depth with that, what were some of the challenges of bringing this story to life?
Well, the story, I mean, Children of Asar was entered into the Webtoons Call to Action contest, and it's basically them doing a contest for all like action orientated stories, and they all are one
Mm.
shots essentially, and they're actually in like the judging mode right now. The winners get announced at the end of this month. So there were some criteria, about 60 panels minimum, one shot, of course, have some action in it. So the challenge for me was going from like a traditional comic book to the web digital comic style where you're scrolling and you see the action flow from top of the screen to the bottom, whatever. So that was a little bit tricky for me. I didn't quite feel like if you go on webtoons there's a lot of anime and a lot of like romance and kind
Yeah.
of those kind of stories on there. So for me going on there with a comic book background was so like different, but it was also refreshing. Everyone was like positive and encouraging with each other, and I think the hardest part was to try to deliver something that would excite people, give them just enough of a taste and want them having more, and enough to make the judges and to make everyone happy with just one issue, one shot is all you have with the contest. So that was the most difficult part of it, was giving like a powerful punch for your first attempt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so just want to go a bit more into that. So you talk about the webtoon, the call of action. So how do you, in regards to like got involved, heard about it? Something you just read is like, no, I'm gonna take this opportunity to put the story out, or was a bit more to it than that?
I accidentally stumbled upon it on, I think, Facebook or Instagram, something along the lines like that. And obviously I'm always looking for
Mm,
opportunities. I auditioned for the Milestone Initiative that DC
nice.
Comics and Milestone Media ran a year ago. I didn't
Uh,
make it, but it's all good. Congrats to the winners. It was really great talent involved, and it actually sharpened me up in terms of like, oh, I need to work on this or work on that. Um, but I stumbled upon this on social media, and I just thought, hey, here's another attempt. First place gets like 50 grand, second place gets 20 grand, third place gets like 10, and you get your webtoon sponsored on the app, so you basically get paid to write your comic on the app, things like that. So I felt like it was a temp, it was an opportunity to kind of kickstart a career of making comics and things like that. So I took it seriously, and I ran with it. And my artist, he worked, Mario Zeus, shout out to him. He worked extremely hard on this thing, and we got it out. We submitted Children of Asar 1 week
Oh
before
wow.
the deadline. We barely, yeah. Let me tell you, man, we were stressed. We were stressed, man. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm not sure we're gonna make it. But thankfully, we did, and you see the results of it now. The hard work I was putting in it, and the passion behind it, and it turned out better than I ever could imagine. To be honest with you, I'm really proud of it. I'm really impressed, and I'm glad people really enjoyed it for what it was.
Exactly, because honestly, looking over that, 'cause again, it's, reading it, I was like, yo, this is like amazing. And sometimes you don't, people like behind the scenes reading a story, so people don't understand the work that could go behind creating a story. And you mentioned like trying to get that deadline. You was like, like hella stress, but you actually to make that deadline. So just want to get a bit more into depth. Was after overcoming the challenges, I was what was the panel you think was like really that stood out to you the most out of the full story?
Oh, that's a good question. There's a few that I really enjoy. I honestly, my favorite panel would have to be the explosion. I believe page 3 or 4, where the explosion, the nuclear missile after ISIS sent it into space, and there was this big explosion that happened in pretty much outer space, and you can see her floating, descending to the ground, and she just looks so powerful, so elegant and fierce, but also feminine. And with that explosion in the background and her eyes glowing green, it was just like a really, I think it's the one page that really brought attention, a lot of attention to it. And I would hang it up as well, like as a portrait or something. And I guess my second favorite would be the one where Set charged up with his weapons and went to attack ISIS as she did her like falcon feather energy blades twirling towards him. He just had this crazy motion to get right to her. That would be my second favorite image for the comic.
That Black Air Force energy, he was ready for all the smoke. He
Yes,
was ready to
yes.
charge at her, put everything on the line. So I was definitely was like, I was like, oh snap.
Such a bastard. He's such a bastard, man. You could.
Definitely, I let's get married to me again. She was like, nah, it's not gonna happen, fam.
I know, talking smack about the son. I killed your husband, and like you need to get with me. Yeah, he is one of the. He definitely inhabits the Black Air Force energy, for sure.
Facts. You always gotta have like a toxic villain, So he
Right.
definitely fits that criteria.
Exactly.
So, what do you envision for your project? Like if you have everything your way, what do you envision your project in the long term?
Long term, I mean, I envision first place. I envision getting animated and to provide a really cool, great action adventure story featuring Egypt mythology, featuring characters of color, where it's not like the Gods of Egypt movie. And
Yeah.
it's not really a story that is totally going to like awaken your third eye, but it is something where
Hmm.
you can see like there's black and brown people, there's Middle Eastern, there's more of like an accurate showcase of that side of the continent, instead of just
Hmm.
what we usually see. And I love The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, and that's a
Hmm.
classic movie,
Definitely.
classic movie.
That's like classics for any like definitely like 90s, early 2000s. That's definitely like go to classic right there.
Yes, yes, yes. And I wanted to try to provide that kind of same energy and excitement with characters that were more accurate to that region, I forgot the third guy, the Magi Warrior. Like he was so cool and he did his thing, but he's not the main lead. Brendan Fraser is the main lead in that film. So I kind of want to be able to kind of like just transfer that and make us in the lead and just keep that same action adventure kind of look, not really horror, but like how that's like it's the most Egyptian movie Hollywood has ever made. um and it's one of the most entertaining movies they've ever made. So I really wanted to kind of capture that and put in a comic book form with characters more accurate of that region.
Awesome, correct. So awesome. So definitely a lot better than the Tom Cruise one that came out a bit later. So
Oh man, I went to the theater to see that one, and I was like, "What is this, man?" Killed the whole Dark Universe. Yeah, that was a hot
That's
mess.
yeah, definitely was. But you're right though. Look into the story. Definitely a lot of like diverse and again that on the other side of the word, Islamic representation had to be reflected into your story, which honestly is not really a lot of. So this is what really like stood out to me once I was reading your story. Like, yo, this is like hella dope. It's also just like different representations and different shades of characters. Being the main characters as well, I was like, yo, this is dope. This is dope for real.
I appreciate it, man. I'm not trying. I didn't try to try to make up for the Gods of Egypt movie, but I think I subconsciously tried to do that with with Children of Asar, man. It's just long overdue. You don't really see it too much, and it just should be shown more. It's just I don't. I mean, we get it. We all get it, and it's our
Yeah.
time to kind of showcase more of that. Comics, movies, plays, whatever. Just trying to be a little bit more, historically accurate, and not and have us as those leads, have us as those stories where it's just like, man, that was so much fun. Like, and it's finally our chance to get that opportunity and snag that. So it's a good time. It's a good time for us in entertainment. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's 100% facts. I feel like now is like people like demand. It's like social media and everything. There's like more platforms we have to like, curate more diverse
Hmm.
stories, and people are more vocal as well. So people just like, hey, like we just want to see more people like us in television. And honestly, there's sometimes where you would have different big shows add in diverse characters, which is fine, but sometimes having our own original stories and being the main cast in our own shows, that's something I think is also I feel much more powerful. And just see all different creators and those stories are out there, and like your stories are out there, and we just need to just get that, just again just place that out there, let people be aware that hey, you want to see black and brown and all types of people being the main cast and being the drivers of their own story. Well, here it is, so again, so this is dope.
Appreciate it, man. You're absolutely right. This is the most access, I guess, humanity people have had for entertainment in history. The internet's allowed that, where you can have watch films from the beginning of the Hollywood industry. There's literally content for everybody out there. All you have to do is go search for it. There's a streaming platform. There's a Facebook group. There's somewhere where they catalog exactly what you want, and there's a plethora for it. Back in the day, you went to the comic shop. There was only Milestone Comics in the local comic book store. Now, now there's so many indie titles on at your LCS, and also so many indie titles online, from the Antagonist to Harry Tubman, Demon Slayer, to Black Sands, to whatever. Literally, whatever you want is out there. All you gotta do is go grab it, literally, and it's literally like the best time to be in entertainment. I know people want to be all negative and things about that, how the quality and this and that, but there's projects for everybody out there. All you gotta do is go seek it.
Exactly, and that's the thing, like of all types, of course. So like you mentioned before, all I have to do is go seek it because again, all of it is out there, and you have either comic books, you have stores now that have diverse stories. You have online. There's so many outlets now. There's a story out there for everyone, and you just gotta just gotta find it. You just gotta get it, and but it's definitely out there. And so, just want us to check in with you. So another question, side question. What is your